How's it going, guys? Welcome to the stream. Episode 5 of this is 5, right?
Yeah, this is
Mm,
5 episodes.
Fucking God. Uh,
Feels like 3.5, but yes,
oh my
it's number
fucking God.
5.
I'm gonna get this out of the way right off the bat. This episode was like a 2. If we're scoring 2 out of 10, if we're scoring out of 10, this was like a 2 for me.
Um, they went so far away from even the darkness that Enterprise had with the opener. I'm looking at a 4 probably on my end, but it's not as good as last week.
A 4, you said. Wow. You're being a little generous.
I don't
Handing
I
out.
don't hate I don't hate gore though, so it's like it
I don't
didn't
hate gore
bother
either. I
me.
don't hate like I that opening scene really didn't bother me at all. Like I'm just like, okay, getting his eye ripped out. Um, yay. Like who my biggest problem is who opens a Star Trek episode with something like that.
That's why I'm scoring it so low. I didn't. At first I'm watching it. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I put in Saw in my DVD player? What's going on here?
Why is he wearing an ensign's tunic? Like, why was he wearing an ensign's tunic? Like, he was Egypt wasn't an ensign at that point. This is like another 20 years later. Egypt was not an ensign.
You're
And
right.
how did he make it to the Alpha Quadrant? Like, didn't they drop him off somewhere in the Delta Quadrant? Like,
Was he on that cube though? This might be a mystery for us to figure out.
he was
I
not
I
on the cube. He was not on the cube. We know for a fact he wasn't because he was dropped off somewhere. He was dropped off. No, I'm thinking the other two kids. The other two kids got dropped off with that family in the Delta Quadrant, and Seven was all like torn about it. But like Egypt didn't really get a whole lot of episodes. Like you saw him once or twice during the final couple seasons of Voyager, and they didn't really do much with him except for that one episode where they had to like go to the Borg cube to get components from like dead Borg, I guess. Captain Coalpile, how's it going?
Hey Cap, it's been a long time. Haven't seen
Um,
you about. What's going on, man? But no, Voyager's not my favorite out of all the treks.
See, it
But
was for me though because it still kept that air of hope, and I'm gonna touch on that theme in a little bit here, but it keeps that theme of hope alive, right? Because like they're stranded and they're just trying to find a way home, right? We saw in TNG there was that like theme of hope, like hey, we're going across the galaxy, we're going across the quadrant to to cement diplomatic relations. Whereas Enterprise is more, or not Enterprise, but the original series was more about exploration. You kind of had some of that in TNG, and then they mixed in more of the diplomacy and how interplanetary relationships worked. Um, in Enterprise, you had like the science discovery of all the new gadgets and gizmos that the Federation and Starfleet would eventually adopt. Um, Deep Space Nine, you saw like a continuation of those really like complex diplomatic solutions coming together. You know,
well,
so
no, and that's something I wanted to touch on. When we
yeah,
get to the hope section, is even Deep Space Nine
how's it
had
going,
hope,
memes?
and this
Yeah,
show,
it's like devoid of it, and it waves its hand away by Seven of Nine's own words. Oh well, we should let him have a little bit of hope. Um, we don't want him to be disillusioned. And this show is nothing but a fucking disillusion to people who are like hardcore Trekkies. Like I don't consider myself a hardcore Trekkie, and even I am just like, holy shit, could this show get any more disparaging toward Trekkies?
well, yeah, and okay, so they open with
With
the
Icheb getting his
eyeball.
eye getting ripped out. Like, who
and
does
then
that?
Seven has to she
She
okay,
has
you're
to
telling
put a
me
phaser blast to his heart.
and
And
why? And why do you have to do that? Okay,
he had
remember
his eye
Jordy?
pulled out.
Jordy has this thing called an ocular implant. You
So does
know, the
Seven.
thing that made
Seven
it
has
so
an
he could
ocular
see.
implant. Ancak says even Deep Space Nine with darker theme was full of hope and everything worked out in the end. Yeah, and there's no sense that anything is going to work out in the show. It's like, oh, doom and gloom. This girl's gonna die if we don't find her. Doom and gloom. Sorry,
What?
Dodge.
Oh no, no, it's fine. It's fine. My son walked in too, so I was talking to him. Um, no, okay. They ripped the eyeball out, and it's bloody, which is weird for Star Trek. Star Trek,
Yeah,
the worst thing we ever saw was the Romulan disruptors. Two shots and you're vaporized. But that didn't leave blood and gore. And don't go back to last episode and tell me that that sword cut was gory because it
it
wasn't.
was not. No, I mean there was a little bit of green blood, but that's just that was the work of the effects team. I will give them credit. I will give them credit for only this in this episode, for only this, because everything else that followed I felt was bullshit. They recast the actor who played Ichep. Um, and when they recast him, they did such a good job with the makeup and everything that it looked like Ichep. And I was kind of blown away because I didn't realize until someone had pointed out. It was actually Mecha Random 42 that pointed it out to me specifically. I'm like, they recast it. I'm like, holy shit, they did a good job because I couldn't tell the fucking difference. Like, it looked like him, you know? And that's the only credit they're going to get from me is that the visual effects are still pretty good. And that's all the show has going for it at this point for me.
Well, they'll get a little bit more from me because okay, she kills him, which she didn't have to, okay? And he begged her to, but he's not a Klingon.
Yeah.
If he was a Klingon, he got captured, he got tortured. Yes, I could see
Yeah.
that. Not a
But he would have
Klingon.
survived having his eye ripped out. Like they weren't even like okay, yeah, he was getting tortured and shit. Yes, I can see that. But they just wanted to kill the character off. They just want I for
And
to what
having
end, I
Seven
don't know.
do it, I don't think
I
Seven
know.
would have done it. I don't
She
think
would not
that's,
have.
yeah.
She would not have. We know for a fucking fact she would not have. And they pulled out most of his implants on Voyager. They pulled out like 99% of his implants. And all he had left was the ocular implant and some of his bones, as far as I remember. I could be wrong on that.
I thought the
Um,
ocular implant, Seven needed it or something. I
well,
don't know.
Echep needed it as well because he also had the what's it called? Um, that like went right into his brain. I forget. I forget. It's been so
Yeah,
long. I forget.
yeah.
But
They go. Okay, she kills him, which is total BS.
yeah,
Then
which sets the tone for the entirety of the episode, by the way. Like the entirety of the episode is everyone's getting killed.
well, no, and then they go to Cloud City. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. This isn't Star Wars,
Free Cloud.
which looks like Tatooine, the bar. But hey,
Yeah. It looks like
whatever.
no, it seriously does. Now that you bring it up, it does remind me it does remind me of Mos Eisley. It reminds me of the Cantina and Mos Eisley. And I'm just like, even in atmosphere, like everyone there is some sort of space villain, right? Like,
Oh my god, and they put Picard. Okay, so I'm okay with them dressing all funny like that because it
and they call
reminded
them
me of a
facers. They call
holodeck.
them facers. Facers. Facers.
Nuh-uh.
They did. I swear to fucking God, they did. You're a facer. You have to look and act flamboyantly, is what fucking what's her face said. The
Um,
the drug addict chick.
Oh, the drug addict that gave him barbiturates to
Yeah.
calm him down. Oh yeah, the druggie giving drugs away. That hey,
Shit.
whatever. It's
Like, here,
cool.
man, you want to get high? You want some shrooms, dude? I got what
No,
you need.
no, I got you, man. You want some death sticks? I don't want death sticks.
They have death in the name. Fuck, dude.
Oh, but no, I'm okay with the funny get up because it did remind me of a holodeck episode, but it's not a holodeck episode.
Right. But the problem, okay, so the problem is like literally nothing happens in this episode, right? So I'll give a quick recap, just a really quick recap, just to kind of breeze through everything. We open with like 7 years ago or 13 years ago, or whatever the fuck it was. Each ep is getting his eye ripped out. Then it flash forwards to another flashback of like 2 weeks ago when they capture uh fucking what's his name?
Maddox.
Maddox.
Maddox is the
Thank
name you're
you.
looking for. Yep.
Thank you. So they capture Maddox and they start torturing him and they're beating the shit out of him and whatever on a daily basis. So for 2 weeks, he's basically holed up on Free Cloud, getting his shit handed to him. Um, the crew finally makes it to Free Cloud, gets told to dress in some ridiculous costumes, and I'm thinking the entire time, why a fucking eye patch is going to be enough to persuade people that he's not Picard when he's been on fucking national TV like a week and a half prior to going to Free Cloud. He's on like
Oh,
intergalactic television.
I
Like,
forgot about that. Oh fuck, dude. No, you're right. Oh shit.
so
Okay, we just knocked this down to a 3 instead of a 4 because I
yeah.
forgot about that.
So you have that happen. Then you have the fact, and this is the biggest thing. She sends them down onto the fucking planet, and as she's sending them down, be careful not to lie, because these reptile dudes can literally smell lies, and then they like expound upon it. But the biggest, like the dumbest thing that happens in this episode doesn't even relate to anything going on. The drug addict chick goes and hunts down her son, who we have no knowledge of previously, hunts down her son at the Free Cloud Planned Parenthood, basically, because that's what it is. It's the fucking Planned Parenthood of the planet. And there's this moment. They have this moment where she's like, "I came to get you," and he's like, "Bye, fuck off," and that was that. They wasted 6 minutes on that.
Oh, but no, no.
Oh
Frank,
my.
Frank, you care about these characters, remember? They
Oh
told you
yes.
to.
Yeah. You have to care about these characters, or otherwise you're a bigot. Ain't Jack says, I thought the anime stories were random and all over the place. Is Picard Robin the boy wonder now? Yeah, yeah, he is. Oh my god, he is. He's basically Seven of Nine's bitch in this show. Or in this episode.
Well, okay, so what I did in that exchange you were just talking about though, it did kind of show that her son is one of the people that hate the synthetics. That's what they were trying to tell there. And I'm not trying to give them too much credit. I'm just
No,
elaborating for
no,
you and
I
the audience.
understand. I understand that. The problem I have with it is that it misses the mark completely. Like they make it, instead of being about the fact that he doesn't like synths, they make it about, and like the whole idea is that he's got a not a Cardassian, he's got a Romulan girlfriend that's knocked up, or wife, or whatever it is, and she's like, I want to be here for you and for my grandchild. And he's just like, dude, fuck off. And they made the whole scene about that. I guess subtext is that he doesn't like synths, and that's why he's with a Romulan. But it's missed entirely because of the fact that they just don't know how to fucking write the episode. Oh,
Yeah, no, and the Romulan, I don't know if that was a Romulan or a Vulcan. She seemed to have a little too much emotion
yeah.
to be
So
Vulcan.
if she
So
was Vulcan, she could have been like Tuvok, or maybe like to a lesser extent, maybe uh Spock.
yeah, because we find out in Enterprise that humans and Vulcans can have children, but it takes
Right.
some work. Yeah, that would explain why they're at the medical place. Because I'm guessing Romulans are still hated, right? By the interview episode where they were like, fuck Romulus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, oh, it got
like
blown
they
up. Why would you care? It got blown up. They're our enemies.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this is a Vulcan or half Vulcan, half human. It doesn't really matter. She is polite, and he's like, "Oh no, she was leaving."
Yeah.
Okay, my wife would catch that off of me if I was like, "Yeah, this is my mom. By the way, she's leaving." Yeah, Y- you know what
uh,
I mean?
yeah, I cannot give this episode a pass at all, and I feel like giving it a 2 is gracious. Um, so you have the whole 7 of 9 revenge fantasy bullshit play out, and that's probably the most interesting part of the episode, but it's so fucking dumb because, like I said earlier, they go to the place, they get Maddox, and they're like, "Well, I'll trade you 7 of 9's life for Maddox. You
That's
can
not the
take
stupid part.
Maddox."
No, you guys
No,
are
it's not. It's
forgetting.
not. It's not.
You guys are forgetting. They handcuff her the same fucking way they do in A New Hope. They handcuff her with fake handcuffs so she can get out of them. Oh my god, stop copying Star Wars. For the love of fucking God, you're Star
Stop.
Trek.
Just do something original. Do something that is hopeful. Do something that actually works to the story's advantage. Like the whole Picard thing is the dumbest fucking thing ever. Like every fucking person on Free Cloud should have known who Picard was. Like they should have been like, he's just wearing an eye patch. Go kill that fucker. Remember two episodes back, they're like, they get to Free Cloud. They're like right outside the barrier of the planet, right? Because they got that big force field around the planet, like it's fucking planet Druidia.
That wasn't Free Cloud, that was the other planet, but I
Was
know
it the
what you're talking
Romulan
about.
planet? But you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Like they're trying to contact Free Cloud, and Free Cloud won't give them the time of day. And then Picard's all like, "Well, tell them it's me." They're like, "We tried that already."
Well, no, and we skipped over something which I actually thought works.
We didn't
A
skip
lot of
over it.
people,
We just haven't got to it
a,
yet.
a lot of a lot of people, a lot of reviewers have said this doesn't work. It's stupid. But no, when they fly up the Free Cloud, holo ads pop up. I'll tell you why that works. Quark tried it in DS9. Cisco shut it down. Now Quark has franchised. You see Quark's bar in the background, by the way. Nice Easter egg. Thank you very much for at least that.
I wasn't
Um,
even paying attention, to be honest. But like
yeah,
that whole scene annoyed me. Like I get that the scene was supposed to be annoying, so there's 1 point out of 2 that I'll give this episode. Um, but like that whole scene was just annoying. From
but
top,
it works because Quark tried it. Remember,
it,
all over the
okay,
system, it
it's
popped out.
canonical.
Quarks!
It's canonical. I will agree that it's canonical, but I will not agree that it works. Because what ruins the scene is at the very end of it, you've got the Romulan soldier going, I didn't get one. I didn't get a hollow ad. I didn't get a pop up. He's like, he wants to be advertised to. And I'm just like, you are not this fucking stupid.
I want to know though. The only thing that doesn't work about that scene is they somehow know that she likes that snake. You want to get snake bit. In other words, you want to come buy some drugs. What did you do a medical scan and find it in her system?
I mean, one could assume. Okay, this is just my assumption. And we don't know because we don't have any context to this. They won't start the story where it fucking begins. They won't start with the destruction of Romulus, right? They won't, because that's where the story begins. That's where this story begins. And they're relying on these flashbacks and these flash forwards. They won't start with the destruction of Romulus. That takes place at what, the end of Nemesis, right? Where Romulus is about to fucking blow.
Yeah, it's pretty much the
Yeah.
events right before Star Trek '09, where the two timelines split to Kelvin and current.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking. Oh, fuck you, Alex Kurtzman. Fuck you, Bad Robot. Fuck you, Paramount, for letting this shit happen. Fuck you, CBS, for giving it to Paramount in the first place and splitting it up to even fucking begin with. All right. That out of the way. I'm very visibly
So yeah,
distracted.
no, and okay, they rely on an astrobiologist or whatever. Whatever, isn't she a doctor in cybernetics? Pretty much.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
basically following in the footsteps of Soon, and
Okay. So how the
she's
fuck does she even know how to use transporters? Wait, she
that's
was
why
never
she's
off
getting
world.
nervous. No, that's why she got nervous about having to operate the transporter. She's like, she's freaking out, she's panicking because she doesn't know how to operate the transporters, and the EMH is like, "Oh, what's your problem, bitch?" And she's like, "Shut up, go away." And then she's like, "Oh, I did the
Okay.
teleporters."
Here's a perfectly good way to solve that, and you get your captain character that you love so much again. Um, Activate tactical EMH. Transport us when we give the signal. Okay. Bam, you're done.
Yeah,
You
honestly,
don't need her.
how like you're just adding extra characters. Like every time I see her on screen, I want to choke myself. Like just choke myself
Oh,
out.
we'll get to what really made me mad
Oh
about
my god.
her.
I'm not
Oh.
even mad about it because I saw it coming a fucking mile away. Like halfway into the episode, I'm like, she's.
Didn't I say last week she was working for the fucking Romulans? I told you.
I don't think she's working for the Romulans, but I don't think she's working towards the crew's best interest either. Like I think she's along for the ride because she's in it for her own, for her own ass.
But yeah, no, they beam down. The captain, I don't know. He's growing on me. He's an all right actor. I've never seen him in anything else before that I can remember, at
You
least.
talking the pilot of the ship?
Yeah, the captain. Yeah, the pilot. I would call him captain. It's his ship, right? He owns it. So,
Yeah, but
yeah.
when you say captain, I'm thinking Picard, even though he's an admiral. So
Oh, I got you. So yeah, pilot.
yeah,
Yeah, he's down there and he's being interrogated, and then the drugs kick in, and he does this kind of Johnny
he's
Depp.
all like,
He does this Jack Sparrow
it's like
impression,
someone
which
just
was
shot
okay.
him up full of fucking heroin. I'm like,
I think it was all right though, because he kind of played it off kind of
I mean,
funny. Like I
got
said, it
a,
was like a Jack
like,
Sparrow impression.
like he got away with it, right? He got like in I see like he got away with it. He played the part. Like there was some really weird direction going on with that moment. I'm like, okay, well, I guess he made it work, but I don't know.
Did I didn't check the director's credits. Did Jonathan Franks direct this again?
No, I don't think he did. I could bring it up, but I don't think he did.
Okay, because yeah.
Let me.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying because that could explain a lot. Last episode was a whole lot better, and that was directed by Franks. And hey, maybe he went SJW. I have no idea. I really don't. I still want the man's autograph, and I still think he loves Star Trek. Okay? So at least If he fucks up, it's a little bit more forgivable to me.
I guess.
And why a
I
lizard person when we have a bad guy alien race we could put here? A Gnostican. Bad temper, enforcer, gangster type.
This would have
We
been
already have it.
okay. No, this would have been the perfect spot to drop the Andorians into. It would have been the perfect Free Cloud would have been perfect for the Andorians.
That would have worked too. I don't know why they made a whole new race where they had to actually get new makeup, create a new backstory,
There's
and
not speaking. I'll let him again.
voice. Watch the episode Sundays real soon.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I just don't know. This episode is just
This one was uh, if I was watching The Expanse, I would have loved this. But I
see, a
wasn't
lot of
watching
people
The
are saying like
Expanse.
they pulled the one character, the pilot captain character. They pulled a lot of inspiration from the Expanse's captain.
Oh, really?
That's what people are saying. So this episode was directed by Frakes, and
So do you think
like,
Jonathan Franks came into this like, okay, reading the script, he's like, oh fuck me.
no, I
I'm
honestly
gonna
think
treat it. I'm gonna treat this like a holodeck episode and put them in funny costumes. Hey, you, eye patch,
well,
Jean Luc. Come
it
on.
wasn't him that wrote the episode. It was let's see who wrote this episode. It was I gotta rewind here because I've got the opening crawl here. Um, fucking who let Akiva Goldsmith have fucking control of a Star Trek franchise?
I've heard that last name
Christopher
before, but the first
Bayer,
name is.
Discovery. Akiva Goldsmith was responsible for Discovery, and she's responsible for this turd.
Oh no. Oh, so the detractors are right. Discovery has their fingerprints all over this
No,
show.
yeah, no, it is. It's Alex Kurtzman, Akiva Goldsmith, that are puppeteering the entire thing.
Well, okay, so yeah, we got pirate Picard. We got drugged out pilot and 7 of 9 in fake Star Wars handcuffs. Okay.
We don't even have
Um
7 of 9. Okay, that's not even 7 of 9. I don't know what character they did. Like, okay, they got Jerry Ryan to come on, and they got her ex Borg makeup on her, but that's not 7 of 9 at
are
all.
well, is she allowed to change in 20 years? I'm not the same man I
Not
was
that
20 years
fucking
ago.
much. Not that fucking much. Not like mercenary
Well,
fucking murking people.
from 15 years old to 35, I've changed
Think of
drastically.
okay. Think of 7 of 9 as she was on Voyager. She was cold, she was calculating, she was trying to rediscover her humanity. 7 of 9, 15, 20 years ago, or 15, 20 years ago, and then 7 of 9, 15, 20 years in the future would not have thrown away the humanity she sought so hard to regain, nor would she be still clinging to the monicum of 7 of 9. She would have readopted her name, Annika.
But the bad guy character, which we haven't spoken about her yet, called her Annika. So we'll get to
Right.
that. So she did reclaim that, and I don't think being a vigilante is a loss of humanity. I think that's an ultra
No, but
humanity. Because it's like
going out of her way to
you.
murk. Okay, look. Not only did she murk the bad guy in this episode, because apparently every episode has to have its own unique bad guy instead of just. I'm digressing here. Not only does she murk her for revenge, fine, whatever. She murks the lady that ripped out Ichep's eye. Okay, that's understandable to an extent. But she murks her bodyguards without a moment's notice. She just like teleports in and boom, you're dead, you're dust. Um and then she fucking takes out the reptile guy. She like
You
that's a big
you kind of
body
have to
count.
take out the reptile guy.
I'm just saying
Not
that's
like
a
if she would have
pretty
been
big fucking
bam.
body count for someone who
No,
is trying to
you're
reclaim
right.
their humanity. And someone who has
If I
suffered
was gonna
atrocities
do
at the hands of the Borg like that, would you have like gone full fucking metal jacket like that?
no, if I'm gonna rewrite that scene, she beams in, murks the fucking reptilian immediately because he's the biggest threat, and then dual aims on the chick, and then I'm gonna take you to whatever planet that she flies out of for trial, and I would have her arrest
That's
her
that's
and beam
what
her up.
7 of 9 would have done. Whoever this character is, who is 7 of 9 in name and look only, murked an entire staff, mowed down an entire security detail before what? We don't I don't remember like the very end of it kind of gets a little fuzzy for me because I don't remember if she left Free Cloud or if she's like still there fucking people up. But there's no cohesive story being told here.
It is kind of jumpy, like a bad heavy metal band where the lyrics are all choppy. You know, like that's kind of how they're telling
It's
this
like
story.
it's like when you translate something from a foreign language, like Russian or Chinese or something, into English, and then you just read it as like that. So like if you were to like translate it over and just read the translation, and you know how bad the translation would be because it's not put into a correct English structure as opposed to like the words are just as they would be if it were in the original language. That's how this is like written to me.
Well, no, and okay, so when they make the deal, right? How about my
Right.
life for Maddox? She agrees. And because the only reason she agrees is you could always get her later. Well, does that count as later? That's like
I
30
mean,
seconds later.
technically it was later, so it was lived up, they lived up to the whole thing, but um she's not even worth talking about that much. Like she's just running Free Cloud, right? She's got an army of thugs at her disposal. She works over Maddox, or at least has someone work over Maddox. Then they finally get Maddox back to the fucking ship. And they do all this work, and I saw it coming like from like the halfway
I
point because they got that.
I didn't, and
I
I'll tell
saw
you
it.
why. Well,
I
no, let
okay,
me jump in with a short
yeah,
rant here.
go
I'll
ahead.
tell you I'll tell you why. This is why I didn't see it. Because they did the flashback to where her and Maddox had this connection.
Right, and they were
It
like they were fucking they were getting, they were getting pretty close with each other. They're getting intimate and shit. And he baked he baked who bakes cookies in the 25th fucking century?
oh, and just another nerd or the artist formerly known as Voice says, "Why does Maddox look like Jordan Peterson?" Oh, did Star Trek writers just want to kill Jordan Peterson? There's a new
No,
conspiracy.
really? Jeez, no, they did dress him like. Was it even the same actor from the original series?
No, there's no way that babyface looking bastard from TNG.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
don't
so either.
care. Yeah,
You
there's
don't
no
age
way.
that much in 20 years unless you're like really fucking yourself up.
Yeah, I don't think that's the same guy. But no, they led us on, and it was a red herring. They led us on. They were like, "Hey, um,
I mean, for
you
you, maybe.
know,
For me, I caught it like
they
instantly.
they have this relationship build up, and then she's like, he needs to rest after Picard gets his info, and then she murders him, and
Yeah, and
then
as she's
I,
doing it,
I
she's like, "I wish you knew what I knew, and I didn't know what I." That was a shit line. Okay, that was a
that
shitty
was some
fucking line.
Deanna Troy level acting, and I'm talking like
Dude,
season one Deanna Troy.
the only reason Mariana Sirtis or I can't say her first name. Fuck, man. The only reason Sirtis got a fucking pass was because she was hot in that fucking outfit. You point at anyone, men and women alike, and I promise you, anyone would have said they would have fucked her.
Well, yeah, like I'm more partial to Jedzia Dax myself, Terry
Uh,
Farrell, but
Ain't Jack said that you're giving them too much credit if you think they can lead anyone on. You're getting called out by
maybe
the
I
chat
am.
here,
I'm
Doc.
trying here.
You're getting
I'm
called out by the
trying.
chat here, dude. Um,
I'm trying to
we're
give them a benefit of a
5
doubt.
episodes in, and barely, we have barely talked about the true intentions behind the Romulans bullshit on the cube, right? I want to know what's going on that fucking cube, and they're not.
I want to know how the hell Picard thinks he could fly right up to this cube and be like, hey, I'm the cutest of Borg. Let me aboard.
Maybe he should wear that fucking pirate patch. My God.
Yeah, that'll work.
Let me back on, ye mateys. And that horrible French accent he was trying to pull off when he was
Oh,
trying to sell Seven. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But
So
you
the
know what
first,
really make well, this is what makes me mad too is she murders this motherfucker. That's in the computer logs, by the way. This is Star Trek, people. That's in the computer. And they don't notice cuz
I
in the
know, dude.
I know in the next episode everything's fucking fine. What the fuck?
Here we are floating along. Hey. Fuck,
God
man.
damn it, Gilligan, you killed Maddox. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. I could just see it. I could just see the skipper coming out and smacking him on the head. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Gilligan?
And at the next planet, they're going to pick up Ginger and Marianne. It'll be fine.
I thought they already had Ginger and Marianne.
Oh, yeah.
Marianne was the duplicitous backstabbing bitch. Okay, that's the doctor they brought on board. Uh Marianne was the drug or not Marianne.
Ginger.
Ginger, thank you. My brain skipped a beat there. Um Ginger was the drug addict. She had to have been. She had to have been a drug addict.
She was
To
a movie
fucking
star.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is she had to have been a drug addict. Like there's
Well, no, and for the sake of argument here, the pilot looks at Picard and goes, "What do we do about our stowaway?" And he goes, "Hey," and she's like, "Fuck off." And he's like,
I
"Okay."
know. This whole episode was just people telling other people to fuck off. Like Echep, Echep got off easy. Okay, he got off easy in this episode because he didn't have to fucking live through the rest of it. But
You're like, rip my eyeball out next.
seriously, man, I had this thought while watching, and I'm like, Echep isn't telling Seven to kill him because like he's in pain or anything. He's telling her to kill him because he's telling Seven of Nine to go fuck off.
I really don't think she should have killed him at all. He could have had one of those Geordie fucking eyeballs. Okay, if Geordie can get one, so can you. Especially when you already
I
have an
know.
ocular implant in
And
there,
all they did,
motherfucker.
well, no, because they pulled all of it out. Remember, like the whole thing came out because it replaced his optic nerve.
Oh, okay. So they'll have to fix that. Whatever. Either that or give him the eye patch.
All right, they had an eye patch on the ship. They could have just. Oh my god, what is going on? Like, give me. Okay, look, I have waited so long for a Borg centric series to come out, and now that a Borg centric series has come out, it's not Borg centric anymore. The fuck?
Well, no, and I'm the other way. I've always wanted the Federation Romulan War. That's why I actually like Nemesis. It's kind of a build
Yeah,
up for that, and you almost get it. You
and they
almost get it.
don't. They give you enough to get your dick hard, and then they go, oh, "Sorry, I don't feel like licking the tip anymore. You're just gonna
Yeah,
have to have
yeah.
blue balls."
It's like a night at the strip club. It's just bullshit.
You get all worked up, and you gotta go home.
Yeah, but hey, give me the Romulans properly. Don't make up a fake Tal Shiar. Have the real Tal Shiar around. I
Okay,
mean,
voice has got a very good point. He says, "Remember, Dodge, you're paying for this shit." Yeah, Dodge is paying for this. I'm not.
so, like I said, just like the strip club.
I don't. I'm getting it for free, and like I know I shouldn't be as critical, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I have to be critical because, like, if you expect me to pay money for this shit, like, you could work harder to earn it. You know,
Well, the show looks brilliant.
it looks good, but it's how do I put this? Star Trek Picard is to movies and television what a Valley Girl is to the average dude in the Midwest. You get
Yeah,
what I mean
just
by that?
super. Yeah, shiny but superficial. You know.
Shiny, beautiful. You want to take it home, you want to fuck it, but you don't want to have anything to do with it the next day. You just want to kick it the fuck out of your bed and see it roll down the hill. Sorry, was I a little too
Yeah.
dramatic with that?
No, no, not at all. No, and here's the thing though. This is probably the lowest rated episode, and it really shouldn't have
It's
been.
not going to get better. It's not going to get better.
It
Like I
didn't
said,
totally tank yet though. This isn't Discovery level madness yet.
yet. Give it to season 2. We know it's coming. We know it's coming in season 2.
Well, no, and I can tell you why he signed on for what was it, 2 or 4 years?
2
Um
seasons.
the reason he signed on for that long is they need that long to tell a goddamn story. Once again, 3 minute what happened last week. Bitch, this is a
Voice.
streaming service. What is wrong with you?
I got to highlight this one from Voice. So Picard gives you an STD. Yes, it's called cut my balls off itis. I'm going to willingly castrate myself if I have to sit through another season of this shit. Um
Oh,
because
you're
I
in
don't
it
want
for
the
the
human
ride
race.
now, though. You talked me into doing
Oh my god.
this one, and then I talked voice into doing
At least
Sundays.
at least
So
this season. At least this season. I will stick it out for the rest of the season. But I swear to God, if I have to sit through a whole another season of this shit, I will willingly castrate myself so that the human species cannot advance any further, at least using my bloodline.
you're like, that's it. I'm opted out.
Game over, man. Game over. Um,
Well,
so
okay. What would you have done instead, though? Because they had the writers hand you this shit brick, and you're Jonathan Franks, and you're reading it. You're like, this is a goddamn fucking holodeck
I
episode, but it's not. What do I do with it?
I don't know. I don't know what you could have done. Like, admittedly, Frakes has done the best he could with this turd. I don't know if he directed the first 3 episodes, but we know he directed the 4th episode. If he directed the first 3 episodes, okay, kudos to him for being able to pull it off to an extent. Um, but this is kind of making me want to go back and watch Enterprise. Like, I haven't revisited that show at all. That is the only series that I have watched in its entirety that I have not gone back and rewatched a single episode of.
See, I'm a nerd, right? So even when I'm on the computer, if I'm watching a YouTube video, if the kids aren't here, I'll throw DS9 up in the background.
Yeah.
And if it's a random episode, I'll just listen to it off and on. If it's in the pale moonlight, I'll stop what I'm doing, turn around and watch it because I love that episode. But I do that with all the
Other nerd
old series
dodge
other
off
than TOS.
dick while watching in the pale moonlight.
No, but the only one I don't rewatch is TOS. It's before my time, and the
I can't get
graphics
into
are
it either.
just
I can't get
yeah.
into it either. It's my personal choice. I can't get into it. I literally grew up with Next Generation. Um, so I had that. I DS9 was not my flavor at all. But I did watch a few episodes. Like, I would watch it if it were on and there were nothing else on. And probably just the reruns when they happened. Um, but Voyager, that was my show. Enterprise, I sat through the entirety of it and just remembering how stupid the whole time travel bullshit.
That's really the
That's
first two
the only problem
seasons
I
though.
had with Enterprise is that the first 2 seasons were good, and then everything after that was just time travel bullshit, and I could not get behind it.
I think it's the opposite. The first two seasons were the time travel shit, and then the last two
No,
was the
there was
war.
some of it. There was some of it in the first 2 seasons, but it wasn't a whole lot. The war bullshit that they had was because of the whole time travel stuff. Like,
Well, then you and Voice should talk about Enterprise together because you guys agree. I'm the opposite. I
the first
I'll
2 seasons
watch.
of Enterprise were the best episodes. The first 2 seasons were the best seasons. Now that's kind of a a loaded statement considering that like it wasn't the best, but it was okay. Voice says he couldn't agree more.
Yeah, like I said, you two will agree on this one. I'm the opposite. I like season 3 and 4. They had the what 3 or 4 parter where they were in the alternate universe.
Yeah.
They were, and the Nazis took over. They had that set. They had the Zindi War, the weapon that tore a hole through Earth. There was a lot of really cool stuff in the last
Yeah.
two
They
seasons.
had that one. It didn't tear a hole in Earth. It made that huge fucking swath and like took out like a whole shit ton of people. And they were about to fire it again and they had to go in and stop it.
But
It
that
like
was a
yeah.
better plot arc,
No, it was.
even than this so far. And
No, that's what I'm saying is that this whole thing is making me want to go back and watch Enterprise, and it's making me appreciate what I remember about Enterprise even more. Like, yeah, it was a passing like Enterprise was a passing show. It was passing. It was Trek at its core. It kind of had the same feel for me as Voyager did, and it kind of brought the some of the more interesting themes of like TNG to it, like the episode where they cloned what was his face? Trip. They cloned Trip and they let the clone know, "Hey, you're just a clone." Cuz Trip was going to die, right? Without like a much needed organ transplant and they were too far away to
Oh,
like
yeah, where they made the
go back.
clone and the whole
Right.
story was the clone growing up and then they had
Right.
the
And then he ultimately decides to sacrifice himself for Trip, knowing what he was. Like he found out he was a clone and everything. How's it going, William Stenchiver?
Yeah, that's our favorite troll. He hasn't been around in a while though, so hope you've been doing good, William.
Um, but yeah, god damn, it's making me appreciate fucking Enterprise even more now. It's like it
The
was just
next
a passing show. It was like it was a 5 out of 10, just like all the way through, even considering how much I hated the last 2 seasons.
Well, the wrap it back around to Picard though, I can see where the story threads are going to converge, and it will be episode 6, because now you have the incest
I don't even
Romulans on the
think
same
so.
station.
But that's
You
kind
have
of like par for the
Soji.
course with Romulans though, is that they're known for fucking each other's cousins and brothers and sisters and
I have
bullshit.
no idea. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Who knew?
They're the
Whatever.
fucking rednecks of the galaxy. Why
But I mean, the
do you
thing
think the
is though,
Vulcans disowned him?
you have because she was there last time we saw her, not a hologram. Like she was actually there, I thought, or she said she was headed there, one or the other. So you'll have your incest Romulan, Cersei and Jamie. So you have Cersei and Jamie, and then you have Soji, and then you have Picard, drug addict, and pilot, and crazy bitch showing up.
Yeah, I like how you're just like crazy bitch.
Well, she is. At this point, I don't like her. I already thought she was a Romulan spy. Now I'm
I don't
convinced
think
of it.
she's a Romulan spy, but I know she's not working for the best interests of Picard and the crew. I know she's not, and I fucking hated the character the instant we were introduced to her because it felt like they were a representation. That's all she feels like is to get another woman on screen.
Well, no, and we're almost at about an hour, so I don't know how long you
Yeah,
wanted to go. But I think as it converges here, this is going to be the make or break episode, and we'll see how
I
they
don't even
do.
think it's going to converge. I really don't. I think they're just going to continue on with the same bullshit because that's all they know. I think they're going to continue on with the really bad choices, really bad acting, the shit that like seriously, everyone knows who Picard is. Everyone has seen his face. Okay? Everyone. Because it's on intergalactic, right? Intergalactic news. It's called Intergalactic News Network. How how do you not know who he is? And if you do know who he is, how the fuck is an eye patch going to like prevent you from knowing that? Like,
How Picard would never wear an eye patch? Come on, that's ridiculous. It can't be Picard. Just
no, it
like
can't be.
Superman. Superman doesn't wear glasses. Come on.
Yeah, Superman doesn't need glasses. He's got X-ray and heat vision.
But if voice is still up to it, Sunday I'll do a part 2 where I watch it a second time and really dive into it, and hopefully
We
I
should
don't lose an eyeball.
we should get voice in on the next stream next week.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to commit suicide this year or not, but we'll see.
I'm gonna double check my schedule for work real quick because that was the reason why this week's stream was late. So I am off next Thursday. We can do it Thursday. I think it starts streaming around noon.
Okay.
So
I
as soon
think
as it
I.
starts streaming, I will be ready.
All right. Yeah, sounds good to me. And everybody, yeah, this has to be the worst episode of the season so far. The detractors, hey, I had some harsh words for you guys before, but
Are
you
you
weren't
eating crow?
entirely wrong.
Are you eating crow this time around?
Yeah, no, yay. And when I'm wrong, I'll
I
admit
can't
I'm wrong.
I can't defend this episode at all. Like last week's episode, I could defend a little bit, right? I defended.
Yeah,
I could defend it a little bit. The first three episodes, it was really rocky for me. It was really rocky the first three episodes. Um, so I don't know. This show is definitely a mixed bag from top to bottom. It's definitely a mixed bag. I can't I can't agree with any of the choices they made in it. Like none, not a single
not
choice.
not this episode for sure. And no, when I'm wrong, I'll admit it. And the detractors, they win this week. They win this week. It wasn't Star Trek from the opening. It wasn't.
It was not. No.
Even a Borg episode where they show the needle go in and they assimilate. It was never that graphic. It was, and I'm
No. I
okay
mean,
with it, but
I
it's
would
not Trek.
I wouldn't mind some graphic Borg assimilation. Like I would actually kind of like to see it. I'm kind of actually a little uh interested in seeing like an entire series devoted to the Borg, or at least like you could get God, it was a terrible game. But you could get Voyager Elite Force, right? How they go on the Borg cube and are like fucking shit up on the Borg cube. You could get something like that in like a movie or in like just one season of a Star Trek show. And a like actual Trek. We're not talking this Alex Kurtzman bullshit here. Um this bad robot stuff. We're not talking about that shit. We're talking like actual Trek, like going back to its roots. And if you did something a little graphic, I would appreciate it a little bit. That's just me personally.
Well, no, it wouldn't be that bad, but this was like I said, the joke I made was, did I pop Saw into the DVD player? What's going on here? Because that's kind of what it was. It was a little odd, man. Hopefully they get back on the
It
right
says
track
you
next week.
stream a lot. Oh man. But yeah,
Oh
voice.
yeah, he's not a fan.
If you're up for it, man, you can join us for next Thursday when we do this again. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, so we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll catch you Thursday. Hopefully sometime around 6 Pacific.
Yeah, that would work for me. And please hit the like and if you haven't, the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. Take it easy, everybody, and
Peace.
engage.